Hey, what's up guys? This is Taylor, and I'm doing the free video for Wednesday, August 30th. So I've got two picks for you tonight. Before we jump into the two picks, quick look here at the S&Ps and the QQQ. So following the lead of the indicators, putting our faith in the pretty colors here, the signals had us getting long back in late May, early June. We had a couple squeezes, had a couple buy signals, and the signals kept us long up until August 3rd. We woke up on August 3rd, and the shift had started. The bar went from green to blue, from bullish to neutral. We had a break in momentum, we had a shift in the scoreboard. So August 3rd, we stopped getting long, and then not too far after that, daily squeeze trigger short, caught a couple nice moves lower, McDonald's, AMD, and then as of yesterday, so today and yesterday, the indicators have told me to stop looking for a short. They're not screaming to get long. Things aren't necessarily perfect. But with that grind here over the last handful of days, the bulls have taken a little bit of an edge. Not perfect, but progress is progress. So on the scoreboard for the S&Ps on the daily chart, the bulls have 2 points and the bears have 1. Now, your best possible score is a 5. So 2 out of 5 isn't the greatest, and obviously 1 out of 5 not the greatest, but again, it gives the bulls a little bit of an edge. They've canceled out the daily sell signal. The bars have gone from red to blue. Price is back above the 50, price is back above the 21. So, a little bit of progress being made, and as long as the bulls have even a slight edge off the scoreboard, until that changes, we pump the brakes on the idea of getting short for anything more than a day trade. And then with a little patience here, we're looking for fresh longs. So some progress from the bulls in the S&Ps. And then over here for the QQQ, it's the same scoop. They've canceled out the daily sell signal. They got price back above the moving averages. And on the scoreboard, the bulls are up 2-1. So as far as the two picks here tonight, if the indices can even just stabilize, if they can hang out above that 21 EMA and things just generally trade sideways, I think that should be enough for these two picks to work. Now, best case scenario, into September, October, if you get the S&Ps and the Qs grinding back to and through the highs, then these two picks should work even better. So the first pick here would be Nvidia. You might have heard of it. So for Nvidia, guys, the biggest problem here since June has been momentum. So think of this like your gas tank. Notice how momentum peaks back in early June. And then ever since, it's pretty much on a steady decline, and eventually ends up under the 0 line. You get the break in momentum, they continue to try to push the price higher. They grind it higher, they try to go for a breakout, The problem is, at no point was momentum actually supportive of a sustainable push higher. The structure was fine. Momentum-wise, the bulls had no wind at their back. So assuming this can stick, at the moment you are getting a positive cross. The daily squeeze has fired, but we do have that nested squeeze set up. That daily squeeze is printing inside of a 3-day squeeze and a 2-day squeeze. And notice how on the labels over here, the 3-day is green. That means we have a bull squeeze. We have an active squeeze and we have an active buy signal. So as far as the domino effect, if they can continue to improve the momentum issue, rip that above 0 and keep that above 0, we should see continuation higher out of this daily squeeze. From there, that could trigger your 2-day squeeze to fire long, and that could eventually trigger your 3-day squeeze to go on ahead and do the same thing. So it's pretty much like Netflix from back in May. If you remember, Netflix had a 1-hour squeeze, a 2-hour, a 4-hour, a daily. Pretty much everything squeezing all the way up into the weekly chart. And then one after the other, the 4-hour squeeze fired, the daily squeeze fired, the 2-day, the 3-day. and Netflix goes from $320 to about $480. So you can definitely get some pretty explosive moves out of that nested squeeze. Now the kicker here comes down to the market. I don't think the Nvidia idea works at all. If at any point next week, or really at any point in September, you get the S&Ps and the Qs heading back towards those recent lows. So the theme here for the last few days is the bulls are making progress. And now the key would be, can they just at least keep that progress? It's better if they can build on it, but can they at least keep that progress? If they can keep that progress and the bleeding has pretty much come to an end, then I think Nvidia should work nicely out of that triple squeeze. We lose the market, no bueno for Nvidia. And then my second pick here, guys, would be Google. Now, what's interesting about Google is think of the price action in Apple, Microsoft, QQQ, XLK, Tesla, the semiconductors. They all pretty much got spanked over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Meanwhile, here's Google, just kind of chilling in its own world. It holds up much better than pretty much the rest of the market. And in that regard, it's a little bit like JC's big trade in Google from back in, I want to say 2021. All right, JC, John Carter. You might have heard of him. Back in, I believe it was 2021, it was kind of a similar situation. The S&Ps were sloppy, the Qs were sloppy, and then there was Google doing a really good job of holding its own, not getting caught up in the selling pressure the rest of the market was. As soon as the S&Ps and the Qs just kind of stabilized, Google was off to the races and made a huge push out of that daily squeeze. Not saying it's going to be the same outcome, but in that sense, it's pretty similar. Structure is held really well. We're getting some improvements in the indices, and as of today, we have the squeeze signal, active squeeze, and an active buy signal. Now, the only issue here, well, my only personal issue with both Nvidia and Google, and frankly, just the whole market right now, we haven't had a pullback to a 30-minute 21 or an hourly 21 pretty much since the grind started. And that tends to be the nature of the short squeeze. The shorts get trapped, they get squeezed, and as they're heading for the exits, everything goes up in a vertical fashion. So what I would like to see, maybe tomorrow, maybe into next week, would be something like a pullback to a 30-minute 21 or an hourly 21. And then the bulls have actually got a chance to prove themselves. They trapped the shorts, they squeezed the shorts. The shorts have been squozen. On the first back test to a 30-minute or an hourly 21, if the support holds, the structure holds, and most importantly, if the signals can hold, that dip might be your chance to jump in, and from there you're looking for continuation into higher prices. If that first back test sees the bulls basically dropping the ball, structure breaks, the signals break, we get a 30-minute sell signal, we get an hourly sell signal, then you probably don't want to be the first guy or gal to buy that dip. So in a perfect world, and it ain't always perfect, but in a perfect world, I'd wait for some sort of dip here in both Google and Nvidia, and the overall market, see how the bulls handle that dip. Assuming they handle it well, the signals hold, the structure holds. At the moment, Google and Nvidia would be my first 2 picks to jump into in the dip, and then try to see those squeezes take us into the promised land. If we lose the market, neither of those ideas are going to work really well. So as always, it comes back to the S&Ps and the QQQ first. And I think if they can even just stabilize, that might be enough for a name like Google and Nvidia to go on ahead and get the job done. Alright guys, those are my 2 picks for now. I'll keep you updated, and as always, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, go on ahead and hit the like and the subscribe button. Helps us out here with the algorithm, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Adios. What's up, traders? This is Taylor from Simpler Trading. I wanted to thank you for watching our video, and if you liked the video, go on ahead and comment down below, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell icon to get a notification anytime we upload our next video. And of course, if you want to watch us trade live in real time with our own money, check us out at simplertrading.com. Until then, trade safe, and I'll catch you in the next video.